we're back again to do the Divine Masculine Collective Energy for the next week. Now, if you're wanting to make a booking, you can go to the link directly below. We also have a special on the website. It's only there for 3 days. You can book any month, so jump in while you can. Otherwise, it will be increased again. Okay, the crowning energy for Divine Masculine is that they're needing to get grounded. Now, this can be anything to do with them looking at their 3D world, their 3D life, mother-related energy, their feminine yin and yang energy being balanced. That they also do need to come to a place, masculines, for the fact that you do have the energy in your own world, that you're trying to bring the energy within your world to a balanced place, that whatever you're wanting it to be solid, with a firm foundation before you proceed forward. Now, the challenges you're going to have this week is perhaps your energy or another person's energy, but you will be having some nasty people, you know, that you're going to be dealing with this week, and it can be you feel almost like they're out to get you. This might be the energy of the universe at the moment where it's going retrograde. So it can be that people are getting triggered around you, and that the way they're talking to you and coming at you is quite nasty and aggressive. It can be any energies connected to family, work colleagues, a partner, however this directly relates, but it does feel like it's a very heavy energy. And I think most of us are feeling that. Now, the challenge is you listening to your higher self, you listening to your intuition. It can be this factor of people actually trying to manipulate you to a point where they're making you question your thought process. But the challenge is you're going to have to really listen to yourself, because seeking outside of yourself, you will create that same chapter. You will 3 weeks down the track, 2 weeks down the track, go, God, why didn't I listen to myself? Now, this can be connected to your finances. It can also be connected to your own emotions or a family-related or romantic-related dynamic. It can also be that in a current situation, the challenge will be that you're dealing with your emotion connected to a betrayal. This can be past tense or current tense. But this may be coming up this week for you guys, where something of a nature of betrayal has come 360. Now, in the money sector, you guys are feeling a little bit sensitive, and you're going to have to handle it with tact and poise and gentleness. You're also going to have to handle yourselves with that energy as well. That when you're looking at the aspect of finances, it might be baby steps you're needing to take right now, in a sense that being retrograde, 9 times out of 10, we're unable to manifest mass amounts of cash component. It's very much an assessment time of where we can fine-tune things and look at it and then go, okay, now this is my plan. Come 27th of August, when planets, some of which are going to be moving forward, we're still going to have fairly strict planets in September, but that's more going to be to how you're applying your energy. It will feel less heavy than August. August almost feels like you have insomnia in the evening, and during the day you just don't have enough energy. There's that much on your plate. So in the aspect of finances, you're going to feel a little bit sensitive. It can be due to loss financially. And it can be other people almost criticising the way you've handled your financial affairs. You're going to have to be very strong mentally speaking and creatively speaking, and you guys do have the power to do that. You're mass manifestors, and you know, when you're not feeling so tired, your ability to mentally solve problems is huge. You just have to get to a point where you write it down, plan it out, and then act upon it. You'll probably be able to, you can still apply the energy, but you'll find it will be difficult, like you're pushing shit uphill, but it can still be done. So try and attempt to apply your energy to the situation so that you can get the best, even if it's just implementing a plan, writing down a note form and saying, okay, when this point comes, this is what my direct action is going to be. And that way you can see something in your finances moving physically forward. Now, health-wise, you've got the devil energy. This can be trigger points coming up at an emotional level due to external situations, or physically a situation that can be someone who has been, you know, betrayed you. at a financial, emotional, physical level, this is impacting your health. Now, it can be codependency. It can be addictions. It can be the band-aid effect of you trying to push the wounds down and not directly looking at situations. But the reality is you actually do have the strength in order to heal that. And you may find on the 8th of the 8th, some of this energy moves. Now, on the 8th, it is a very large energy point where, physically speaking, leading into that point in the week, which it's the 5th now where I am, it starts building an energy. So the trigger points can come up that are larger. And it's like it's building and building, and you might be saying, hey, I spiritually am not getting anywhere. But ultimately speaking, by the 8th, it may be a mass trigger point where you need that band-aid effect, but it's almost a purge of it at the same time. So you physically do have the strength. And I feel after that point, the way you're going to be looking at it is, what am I doing? This is because it just feels you're very angry with being the rat in the cage. You also have the Chariot. So this can be movement happening within it and moving through that cycle, and suddenly having the tools and the alignment internally to be able to do that work, to be able to have that aha moment for the energies of the planets to ease up to a degree, so you can actually look at your life and go, okay, where to from here? What am I going to do from here? What you're not seeing, again, similar to the feminines. Stagnation. The pause is not to punish you. Sometimes we do feel that the pause in life is to punish you. 9 times out of 10, it's so that it's holding you back because you're a bit too fast. There's some lessons to be learned or situations to tie up in the loose end situation, so that that door that was always destined for you to open is there at the correct time. So try not to take it personal that universe is against you, because all of us can collectively, twin or not twin, female or male, we're all going through this frequency. So just keep moving through it, place the plans, try and do what you can spiritually and emotionally, and the energy should loosen up where we can all have forward motion. Okay, the unseen is something's being hidden from you. This can be some clarity. So it might be that you guys are thinking of your twin and wondering what's going on, like they're having a poker face. It may be that they're just releasing their energy from you. Again, it depends on what wave you are. If you're so early on in the journey, 9 times out of 10, it may be that you just don't know what your feminine's doing. For those of you who are further down in the journey, it can be that they're just doing their thing. And the first wave is directly are going through a stage where they're just doing their thing. They're doing their work. But it's not that they don't care. It's more from a spiritual point of view. They're doing what you're doing. They're picking up pieces in their life to try and stay afloat. Okay, what you're also not seeing. Okay, well, this is interesting. I might have to pull a clarifier on this. Is that they're disconnected and non-communicative because of a 3D situation you're currently in. So the reason they're directly not communicating is due to perhaps codependencies, distance, lack of communication, them seeing that you're needing some time for yourself spiritually, or 3D natures of proximity. Emotional crosswise. Many of the feminines are trying to get grounded. So at a level of where you are, you may be looking at the situation collectively and saying, gee, the 3D, the way in which life has gone, it looks very poor and bleak. How could this human being accept me? Spiritually, what you need to understand is they're just doing their work, but you're judging yourself more than perhaps they are judging. And I feel communication really is key. I will pull a clarifier through a separate deck. Otherwise, if you're wanting to make a booking, you can make a booking and I can tune into your direct situation. It's been a while where I've been doing the videos, but it's been very much from the feminine's point of view. And I think as we all are going through changing and evolving, I think more of us are going to be more open to the fact that we'll have an understanding of what is going on. Okay. they think you don't miss them, okay? So they're trying to get themselves grounded. They feel you don't, and that's why they're directly dealing with it. They're a bit unsure. They don't want to rock the boat, and they're dealing with house-related dynamics that can be just keeping themselves grounded, coming home to themselves. Now, spiritually for you, it can be that you're reminiscing, okay? You're going back down memory lane, you're romanticizing the past, but you want to have a future. So spiritually speaking, you're thinking of all these things. You're thinking about the good times and the memories. You're also thinking back onto times as well of why didn't you pick that cup? Why didn't you take that love offer? And that may be your twin, which 9 times out of 10 it is, because this is connected to how to get you to there. So for you guys, try and do the processing of what you feel you spiritually need, because I know that you physically feel you want complete clarity, that you don't want to be jumping into something, especially 9 times out of 10 with the twin. It's easier to make decisions with other people, but with this one person, it's quite complex. It feels almost like nerve-wracking to make a decision within this dynamic. Spiritually speaking, you can be critiquing yourself on your habits, your ways, and your personality. And you almost feel that, you know, it's almost your karma. But if you keep placing that energy out there, what's going to happen spiritually speaking is you're going to keep attracting the same frequency. So your opinion counts as much as external, and external really shouldn't matter. If you internally feel worthless, not good enough, it could be so many different levels. It's directly oozing out where it's not even got anything to do with anybody else. It's like manifesting itself into your life constantly. So try and get yourself spiritually aligned. These are wounds. So those old energies of previous people are going to be removed, where mentally and emotionally you won't carry that anymore, and you will be able to physically and spiritually move forward to whatever you want to do, be it with twin or not with twin. You will spiritually be to a whole life in your world, so you can get the best out of it, and you won't keep attracting negative connections and situations to your life, where you can really get to a point you can be anything you spiritually want to be. Now, what you also need to realize is you're more awoken than you think. So it's not that you weren't seeing, it's you vibrationally were triggered and dealt with situations in a particular way. You are awoken, and you're now gaining clarity on what you need to do. So have that, put that aside, and keep moving forward. You need to deal with the frequency of how you see yourself, and realize that it doesn't, again, as I was saying, it doesn't matter how other people see you. If you can't love how you see yourself, it doesn't matter of the opinions of others, not your twin, not a boyfriend, not a girlfriend, not anyone, not your parents or your family or brothers, nobody. If you can't get that correct, spiritually, with the planets retrograde on top of your history in your life, it's really making you attack you. So theoretically, you're at war with self. So when you can get that war with self down, it's going to calm to a point you can move forward. Okay, you also need to seek the truth in it. Don't go by word of mouth. So when it comes to your twin, don't hear from other people what they're doing. You do you. When you're ready to, you need to go directly to source, because what it's doing is giving you shredded information, words through the grapevine. It's not gospel. You need to get it from the horse's mouth and vice versa. You are curious about what will happen next, but you need to move towards that to know. You are meditating on it quite a bit to gain that clarity, and still unsure what's to come, but you do need to follow that through. You're also concerned that perhaps there's going to be a tower moment, but you hanging around means there's no movement, and that's for your life personally. You could be in any number of countries, you could be in any number of situations, relationships, but if this is the energy you hold connected to the feminine, to this one person, that's how you're going to remain, be it in a partnership or not. So unless you want to be like a bat in a cage inside your mind, sleeping next to a karmic partner, this would be, unfortunately, the energy you would feel. Now, it could be that some energy is dormant inside, emotionally speaking, that, you know, you're still dealing with in terms of like demons, personal demons. If you can address those areas and come to a peaceful place, you then can have any relationship, be it with twin or without twin, and still be grounded, and that energy will be upright. Okay? So I'll leave it there. If you're wanting a booking, you can go to the link directly below. Otherwise, try and keep yourself grounded till after the 8th of the 8th and watch the movement flow.